I spoke one sentence against my mother-in-law, and my wife slapped me in front of everyone, hard, across the face, in my own dining room. My name's Daniel, I'm a contractor, been married to Michelle for 7 years. We were sitting around the table, me, Michelle, her parents, her 2 brothers, her sister. They'd been living in my house for 5 years, rent-free. Michelle's mother was talking, like she always did, about how I needed to work harder, make more money, provide better. I'd heard it 1,000 times, usually stayed quiet. This time I didn't. Maybe if I wasn't supporting 6 extra people, we'd have more money. The table went silent. Michelle's face turned red. "What did you just say?" I said. The slap came fast, loud enough that her sister gasped. "Don't you dare disrespect my mother." I touched my face. Everyone staring. Her dad stood up. "You need to apologize right now." I looked around the table at the people living in my house, eating my food, using my water and electricity. Not one of them worked. Not one of them contributed anything. No. Michelle stood up. "Excuse me?" I pushed my chair back, stood slowly. "I'm done." Walked upstairs, grabbed a duffel bag, threw in clothes, toiletries, my laptop, came back down. Everyone still at the table. I looked at Michelle. "I'll be back tomorrow." Then I walked out the front door and made one phone call that changed everything. Met Michelle 8 years ago at a church barbecue. She was sweet, caring, family-oriented. That last part should have been a warning. We got married a year later, small ceremony, her whole family there. 2 years into the marriage, her dad lost his job. Construction company went under. Can they stay with us just until he finds something new? I said yes. Thought it would be a few months. That was 5 years ago. Her parents moved into the guest room. Her younger brother took the basement. Her sister and other brother crashed in the den we'd converted to a second bedroom. 5 people in my 3-bedroom house, the house I bought before we got married, my name on the deed, my mortgage. Michelle didn't work, said someone needed to be home to help her mother, she had health issues, never specified what kind. So I worked 60-hour weeks, construction jobs, renovations, whatever paid. Came home exhausted to a full house, no privacy, no peace. Her family treated the place like a hotel, ate my food, left messes, complained when things weren't up to their standards. I kept quiet, kept the peace. Michelle always took their side. They're family, we help family. But they never helped me, never contributed, never even said thank you. Now I was sitting in my truck outside a Marriott, phone in my hand. I made the call I should have made years ago. My lawyer, Steve Patterson. "Steve, it's Daniel. I need to file for divorce tonight." Steve met me at his office at 9 p.m. He owed me a favor. I'd renovated his kitchen last year at cost. What happened? I told him everything. The slap, the disrespect, 5 years of freeloading. He listened, took notes. "The house is in your name only?" "Yes. Bought it 2 years before we married." "Any joint accounts?" "One. Checking. Maybe $3,000 in it." "Assets purchased during the marriage?" "Nothing major. Furniture, maybe." You leaned back. "Daniel, you've got a clean separation here. House is yours, no kids, minimal shared assets. How fast can we move? I can file tomorrow morning, but here's what I'm concerned about. The family living there. Legally, they're tenants now, even without a lease." "What does that mean?" "Means you can't just kick them out. You need to give them notice, 30 days in this state." My jaw tightened. 30 days? Unless they leave voluntarily, they won't. Steve thought for a moment. "There might be another way. If the house is in your name only, and they're not paying rent, and you're filing for divorce, you could shut off utilities, make it uncomfortable. Is that legal? It's your house, your bills. You're not obligated to pay for people who aren't on the deed or lease." I sat back. "What about Michelle?" "She's still your wife until the divorce is final, but if she stays there, she's choosing them over you. That helps our case." "How long until this is over?" 6 months, maybe less if she doesn't contest." I nodded. "Do it. File everything." Steve filed the paperwork the next morning. Divorce petition, property division, everything. Michelle got served at the house at noon. She called me 17 times. I didn't answer. Finally, she texted, "We need to talk. This is insane." I texted back, "Nothing to talk about. You made your choice when you slapped me." "Daniel, please come home. We can work this out." "That's not my home anymore." I called the utility companies that afternoon. Electric, gas, water, internet. I need to disconnect service at this address, effective immediately. Sir, is this your primary residence? It was. I've moved out. I'm the only account holder. We can process that. Service will end tomorrow at noon. I made the same call 4 times. Then I called the locksmith. I need all the locks changed on my house today. You own the property? Yes, and I'm the only one on the deed. He met me there at 4 p.m. Michelle's car was gone, so was her dad's truck. The locksmith worked fast. Front door, back door, garage, side gate, new locks, new keys. I kept one set, put the other in my truck. When he finished, I walked through the house one last time, looked at the mess. Dishes in the sink, laundry everywhere, there's stuff scattered in every room. I took pictures, documented everything, then I left, locked the door behind me. At 6 p.m., Michelle called again. This time I answered. What did you do? What needed to be done? The locks are changed. We can't get in. I know. Daniel, this is our house. No, it's my house, and you're not welcome there anymore. Michelle was screaming now. You can't do this. My family has nowhere to go. Should have thought about that before you slapped me. They'll freeze. The heat's not working. I shut it off, along with the water and electric. Silence. Then her voice dropped. You're going to regret this. I already regret the last 5 years. She hung up. 10 minutes later, her father called. I let it go to voicemail. You spineless piece of... Locking us out of our home. We'll sue you. We'll take everything. I deleted it. Her brother texted threats. Her sister called crying. Her mother left a long voicemail about what a terrible husband I was. I blocked all of them. Only person I didn't block was Michelle. Needed to document everything she said for the divorce. Steve called that evening. They contacted your office, said you illegally evicted them. Did I? No, it's your house. You gave them free housing. You can revoke that any time. But they're threatening to claim tenant rights. Let them try. They also said you stole their belongings. Everything in that house is mine. I have receipts. Good, keep those handy. That night, Michelle sent a long text. Please, I'm sorry about the slap. I was wrong. But you can't punish my whole family for my mistake. They have nowhere to go. My mom's sick. My dad's looking for work. Just let us act in. We'll figure something out. I read it twice, typed one sentence back. You chose them. Now live with them. She didn't respond. The next morning, I drove past the house. 3 cars parked in the driveway, sleeping in vehicles. I kept driving. 2 days later, Michelle showed up at my job site. I was framing a deck when I saw her car pull up. She got out, eyes red, hair messy. Daniel, please, we need to talk. I set down my hammer. I'm working. This can't wait. My crew was watching. I walked over to her car, kept my distance. What do you want? My family's staying in a motel. It's $90 a night. We can't afford this. Not my problem. Daniel, they're my family, and I was your husband. You hit me in front of all of them. Nobody said a word. She looked down. I know, I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it. What do you want me to do? Sign the papers, move out, take your family with you. We have nowhere to go. You had 5 years to figure that out while living rent-free in my house. Her voice cracked. I made a mistake, one mistake. No, you made a choice. You've been making that choice for 5 years, picking them over me every single time. That's not fair. What's not fair is working myself to death for people who don't respect me. She wiped her eyes. If I sign the papers, will you let us back in just for a month so we can find a place? I looked at her. Really? Looked at her. 5 years. 5 years of being treated like an ATM. No, Daniel, the answer is no. The house stays locked, you stay out. That's final. She started crying harder. Please, my mom. Your mom should have raised you better. I walked back to my crew, didn't look back. Michelle's family tried everything over the next 2 weeks. Her dad showed up at my job site. Security had to escort him out after he started yelling. Her brother posted on Facebook calling me abusive, said I threw a disabled woman and her family onto the streets. It went semi-viral in our town. I got messages from people I barely knew. But then my friends started responding. People who'd seen me supporting that family for years, who knew the truth. The narrative shifted. One of my crew members posted, Daniel fed that family for 5 years while they sat on their asses. He's the kindest guy I know. They're lucky he didn't charge them back rent. The comments turned. People asking Michelle's family why none of them worked, why they lived off one man for half a decade. Michelle deleted her social media accounts. Her sister got a job at a grocery store. Her brother moved back with his ex-girlfriend. Her parents found a cheap apartment across town. Michelle finally signed the divorce papers. Met me at Steve's office. Wouldn't look at me. "You ruined my family," she said quietly. "No, your family ruined themselves." Steve slid the papers across. She signed, pushed them back. "I hope you're happy." I didn't answer. The divorce finalized 6 weeks later. House stayed mine, no alimony, clean break. I changed every door code, repainted, cleaned out all their stuff, sold most of it, donated the rest. The house felt bigger, quieter, empty in a good way. 6 months after the divorce, I ran into Michelle at a grocery store. She was alone, looked thinner, tired. She saw me, froze. I nodded and kept walking. "Daniel, wait!" I stopped, turned around. "Yeah?" She stepped closer. "I need to tell you something." "Okay." "My family, they're not speaking to me anymore." I didn't respond. After the divorce, after everything fell apart, they blamed me, said I should have kept you happy, should have controlled you better. Her voice shook. "My own mother said I was worthless for losing you." "I'm sorry to hear that." "Are you?" I thought about it. "Yeah, actually I am. Nobody deserves that." She wiped her eyes. "I finally see it now. What they were. What I let them turn me into, you. Long enough, I know." She looked at me. "For what it's worth, you were right about all of it. I chose them over you every time, and I'm sorry." I nodded. "Appreciate you saying that. Does it change anything?" "No." She smiled sadly. "Didn't think so." I started to walk away. "Daniel." I turned back. "Are you happy now?" I thought about my quiet house, my peaceful mornings, nobody demanding anything from me. "Yeah, I am." "Good. You deserve it." I watched her walk to her car. Part of me felt bad for her, but most of me just felt free. I went home that night, sat on my porch, drank a beer in silence. My house, my peace, my life. Nobody to answer to but myself. And for the first time in 7 years, that felt exactly right.